Of our macronutrient series. And first off, obviously we want to start with our carbohydrates. So they are one of the macronutrients that we use for energy, the main source of energy actually, and usually it's expressed as glycogen. So as I'm going through this video, I want you to kind of focus on carbohydrates as glycogen, which I will be using the word glycogen a lot. So in general, it takes about 2 hours to deplete your glycogen stores, which again is the carbohydrate stored in the muscle, and 20 hours to put them back in. So we want to know, where are they generally stored? So they're stored in your blood glucose, they're stored in your liver, and finally in your muscle glycogen. So when we're talking about muscle glycogen also, that does vary depending on your activity level. So the more active you are, your body's going to adjust to that. It's going to need, or I should say, it's going to open up those glycogen stores more to allow you to basically eat more. So that's why everyone gets so excited, when they're bulking, because they get to eat more, they're working out harder, they're lifting heavier. All right, so when thinking carbs, we also want to think of the glycemic index. So the glycemic index basically expresses different types of carbs and their effects on your blood glucose levels. So when you're looking at, say, a high glycemic food, you might want to look at a banana. It has a lot of sugar in it, and it's just carbohydrates. There's really nothing else in a banana, maybe minimal fat. A low glycemic food would be a vegetable, so like broccoli, asparagus is super low glycemic. So those are just examples, and they're also listed as a 50-gram portion. That's to keep in mind, guys. So they're low glycemic and high glycemic at the 50-gram portion. We're thinking about a high carb diet. Carbohydrates should only and always be based on your body weight / activity level. You never want to deal with percentages when it comes to any kind of macronutrient, especially carbohydrates. So you basically want to be higher carb the more active you are, to put it simple. Or if you're carb loading, which is usually generally only used towards like specific athletes, like say an endurance athlete for a marathon, that's kind of where carb loading gets tied in there. And then with low carb diets, you want to incorporate those as well. So in general, it's important to include low carb training 1 to 2 times a week for any athlete. It is extremely beneficial for your body. Yes, it's going to suck. You're going to be tired and you're going to feel weak. But what it does is it spares your glycogen stores. So your body's going to tap into fat first. So it basically teaches your body to spare those stores for when they really need them, and it will tap into that and reduce fatigue when you're really trying to work out hard. So it's seriously beneficial to at least try to incorporate 1 to 2 low carb training days a week. All right, guys, now I want to get into kind of when and how you should take carbohydrates. So when you're taking carbohydrates before a workout, it's best to consume something that's super high glycemic. So as I mentioned before, high glycemic has very high carbohydrates for the most part, very high sugars. Or if you're talking about starchy foods like rice, very high carbohydrates in general. So if you're going to train, you want something light. So basically, sugar is best. You want to think of fruit snacks, any type of candies, even bananas are good. It also depends on your body. All this is individualized, guys. If you can handle a little bit of a heavier food, say like a portion of rice or a portion of pasta before the gym, definitely go ahead. That's also beneficial as well. This should be consumed 30 minutes to 1 hour prior. Now, when you're working out, you want to consume the same type of carbohydrate, so those high glycemic carbs. If it's less than 45 minutes, you don't need anything. Some water. If you want to sip on BCAAs, that's also okay. But other than that, you really don't need carbohydrates if it's a short workout. They're not going to benefit you. If anything, they're going to slow you down. And obviously, this can be consumed all throughout. So maybe once or twice throughout your workout. Now, post-workout, you do want to focus mainly on protein, but it is good to consume some type of carbs with that. So you want to consume carbohydrates within 2 hours at most post-training. The longer and harder your duration for training, the faster this window is going to close on you. So you have to be careful. It is so important, guys, with macronutrient timing. It is so important to get those in at the right time for optimal results. If you really want to perform at your best and be your best, you have to pay attention to this stuff. All right, guys. And finally, I want to mention that carbs are ultimately based on your body weight and your training levels, as I have mentioned prior. So you want to base this on, I guess, a mathematical calculation, if you want to call it. We're not just going to throw like 30% at somebody and be like, hey, you're going to be have 30% carbs. No, that's not how it goes. So there are specific numbers set up for this as well. So when you're looking at a low intensity training, so this is 1 hour or less, it's going to be 3 to 5 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight, guys. Okay. All right, guys. So if it's less than 1 hour, 3 to 5 grams per kilogram of body weight, guys. This is all going to be in kilograms as well. It's not usually in pounds when we're talking calculations for macronutrients. Moving forward, if you're at moderate intensity, which is usually about an hour, you want to do 5 to 7 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram body weight. And if it's anything high intensity, you want to do 6 to 10 kilograms per pound of body weight. So that's just to give you an idea of what to take in throughout the day depending on your activity level and your body weight. Can't stress that enough, guys. This is all very important, like I said, to perform optimally, to perform your best. And like I said, this also comes from personal experience. I have tried and tested these things, and I noticed that even though I'm not the leanest right now, guys, like my performance in the gym is the best it's ever been. You know, like I've always been strong, but this type of knowledge really helped enhance basically my strength overall and my performance. So this is going to benefit me when I do start cutting for my competition. So it's just to keep in mind. All right, guys, and I just want to sum it up here then. So basically just to recap. So you want to have a high glycemic food before your workout, 30 minutes to 1 hour before you work out. You want to have a low glycemic food for slower recovery post-workout. And then I wanted to mention too for us ladies as well, like if you're on your menstrual cycle, you don't need to change any of this. Your menstrual cycle does not change anything just because you might be more tired, or it does not mean you need more carbohydrates. That's not what that means. It's just kind of how your body responds to that time of the month. So just to keep that in mind for us girls. Okay, guys, and that is carbohydrates for you. There is so much more I could talk about, but that's to sum it up. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. See you in the next.
Can't stop, won't stop. Where the brakes at? I give him that ditty bop. Like take that, take that, take that, take that. I'ma put in work. I'ma do that ASAP. Throw my faith in rap, but they say don't say that, huh? What I'ma turn down for? I feel like Shaq in 9-4, breaking glass in that backboard. I like Kobe and Toronto, huh? Dropping 81, yo, I dropped the 88. Ricky Bobby, shake and bake, sleeping on it, should've stayed awake, huh? Everybody make mistakes like VJs. Try to say my name, it's Minio. Say it with me, Minio. Okay, great, 2 forks high, raise the stakes, risk it all, I take the hate. This the winning team, get the Gatorade. My guy good, but he's not safe, nah. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. That's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. You can't stop me. You're my biggest opponent. You know me, I know you, we know it. Whenever I fail, you always been there to simply remind me I've blown it. You don't see when I'm growing. You don't see where I'm going. You only see in the moment. You know my mistakes. You never let go it. Don't cease to amaze me, and it drive me crazy. Did you catch every detail that I missed in the songs I'm making? Saying you will never write a verse like Kendrick, never be the rapper I got from Hendrix. Top 10 alive, you will never be mentioned. Why aim so high, won't survive the trenches. Plus, you a Christian, Andy. They will never listen, Andy. Plus, we a pigment, Andy. You don't got skill, you a gimmick, Andy. Well, if I listen to you and everything you put in my ear, I'll be living like woulda, shoulda, coulda. I'll be paralyzed by fear. Ain't that the truth? If I quit, the only way I lose. I got 2 choices when I do this: make moves or make excuses. If you know who I'm talking about, then you got me. My biggest enemy is me, and even I can't stop me. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can